Welcome back. It's the Young OG Show. We are back, episode 2, and I'm your host, the Young OG, Jay. Y'all know who I am. Just want to say welcome back, man. I'm by myself today. I'm by myself. It's kind of lonely in here, I'm not going to lie. We're going through a hurricane right now, Hurricane Milton, so some of my guys couldn't pull up. It is what it is. The show must go on. There'll be plenty of other episodes, so I do have some content stashed away for them. Only because I have to get their take on it. But a couple things I wanted to touch on this episode. And, you know, there's been a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. And in the midst of everything going on, the NBA season has kicked off. Now, NBA season has kicked off and preseason games are starting. And I'm not really seeing much interaction from the world caring. And I think that NBA has kind of lost its steam a little bit. So I want y'all opinions on that. Definitely leave a comment below and see if y'all agree with me on this one. But I just feel like the NBA has and is trying so much to get players to care. And I think it's just our modern day athlete. Now, full disclaimer, they call me the Young OG for a reason. I've been around, man. I've seen, you know, my childhood. I've seen, you know, the Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, you know, that era, golden era of basketball, you know, and I also seen it transform into the Allen Iverson, the Kobe Bryant era, which was a phenomenal era of basketball, Kevin Garnett. Then I also seen the LeBron James, the Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, now even the Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic. And the NBA has always been competitive. And the further we go down that timeline, it's just been less and less competitive. So with that said, I mean, if you really look at today's modern NBA, you know, it looks like players are more infatuated with being celebrities than they are being actual athletes, you know, and being competitive to the sport. So I say that, you know, and I tie a few things in together because, you know, NBA Media Day was not too long ago. And in NBA Media Day, I mean, there was antics. There's always been antics. And I think the godfather of antics is probably Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, you know, 2 years ago showed up to Media Day with dreadlocks. Year after that, he shows up as emo Jimmy with his emo haircut. You know, and I think this year we have a viral clip, which we'll put it on the screen, of Tyrese Halliburton, full Indiana Pacers uniform with the socks, and on his feet is a pair of Prada loafers, Prada leather dress loafers. I mean, they were fire loafers, don't get me wrong. I love the loafers. The look actually wasn't bad, but, you know, I see some of those things and I'm like, man, this is what's translating into the NBA. Which kind of helps me question the actual difficulty of the NBA. Now the NBA is full of talent, hands down. Don't get me wrong, it's a bunch of talented players. But as far as the competitiveness, I just don't think it's there. Which is why before y'all attack me, before y'all bronsexuals go kill me in the comment section. Which is why LeBron James at year 22 is still able to be competitive and still able to play an average 20 plus points a game. You know, there's no secret. You know, you LeBron sexuals, y'all gotta just keep it real. There's what you want to hear, and then there's the actual truth, right? Those are one of those things where it's just like, come on, man, how do you not see that? I mean, even if I was the biggest fan, which I am a fan of LeBron James. You know, you gotta be able to see that and say, okay, yeah, you know, he's not really playing against much toughness out there, which is allow him to still stay relevant in today's league. Now, shout out to him, 22 years in the league. I mean, absolutely fucking astonishing what he does with his body. He is the greatest athlete of all time, in my opinion. You know, they say one of the biggest abilities is availability. And, you know, the way he's made himself available and he's gotten all those records and all this stuff. And you know what? He got it. In my book, he got it. You know, he's definitely a model of an athlete. You know, however, I just don't see many people like him in the NBA when it comes to taking it serious, taking their bodies serious. That's why we have a plethora of injuries. But I was just having this epiphany, and I'm like, man, the NBA, man, like it's starting up, and nobody cares, man. Like nobody cares because the players don't care. You know, the players are less competitive. You know, they're more infatuated with being a celebrity than they are with being an athlete and actually competing against the guys on the other side of the court. Shit, at one point, we had some players, James Harden. At one point, it didn't even look like he was playing against the other team. He was playing against the refs so he can shoot 32,000 free throws in a season and average 40 points. So the NBA put a rule, you know, about calling fouls, and you know, the NBA was so soft and sensitive at one point. The guy went from averaging 40 points a game, damn near, to, I don't know, 20. And now he's not even an all-star selected anymore, washed up at the end of his career. You know, and it's not saying anything bad about, you know, James Harden. It's just, you know, it's just calling a spade, man. You have to, you know, you have to in life. You got to call a spade to certain things. So would I have loved to see Michael Jordan play 20 plus years? Absolutely. 22, 23 years for sure. But Jordan's, at the end of Jordan's career, he was facing the Kevin Garnetts, the Rasheed Wallaces, the Hakeem Olajuwons, and Charles Barkley. Like, man, that's going to do some damage, man, because those guys played hard. Those guys played hard. They played physical. You know the game was way more physical. Maybe less skilled, 100%. I give you guys that. Michael Jordan, however, was not less skilled. But, you know, definitely the players that he played was probably less skilled, which is probably what he birthed actually what you're seeing in today's NBA. The swag, the gracefulness, the bags, the side steps, the fadeaways, all that stuff that you guys enjoy today. You know, Dr. J, Michael Jordan, they were kind of the first ones to introduce that swag to the NBA. And, you know, and I love it. You know, it's just the heart is not there, which is why it makes me a fan of like the guys like Anthony Edwards. Like, that kid is such a dog. Like, it's so rare to see him, but every player should be him. Every player should be Anthony Edwards right now with their mentality. You know, I'm going to play. That guy on the other side, he's not shit. I mean, look what he did to Kevin Durant. He played Kevin Durant, and it's his favorite player. He played him like he didn't know him. And, you know, that's some of the things they did in the past. That's some of the things Michael Jordan did. Those are some of the things that Larry Bird did. You know, it didn't matter how much you idolized that other players. Like, you stepped on the court, you got to go kill. I have a great relationship. You guys know I'm a hooper myself. Sorry about that. You guys know I'm a hooper myself, and I hoop, and I play with some of my close friends, and they call me Crash Out Jay. Like, they know me. Like, I'm competitive, man. Like, I want to win. That's just the dog mentality. But so it does question a little bit of the LeBron legacy. And I don't want to take away anything from his legacy. I just don't want to give him too much. And that's the difference between you guys. The minute you criticize anything or point out an advantage or a disadvantage that Michael Jordan or LeBron James have, you guys take away from that player. I don't want to take away from LeBron James. I don't take away anything from LeBron James. He is the number 2 greatest player, in my opinion, to ever touch a basketball. So, and what he does when he doesn't have the basketball is phenomenal. And I'm a thinker. I'm an IQ kind of player. And everybody like loves his dunks and shit. And just the way he reads the game, to me, it's like, all right, man, you got it. You got it. You are definitely the second GOAT. And there's been a lot of great players, man. A lot of great players. So, you know, the NBA is just very soft. I don't see guys trying in the regular season. You know, we have monikers for names of guys now. Playoff Jimmy, Playoff Paul George, Hoodie Melo. You got all these players that, like, with these extra monikers, like there's another level to the game at certain points. And yeah, there is, and there always was. However, it's so glorified now that it almost allows them to play lazy during the regular season. And it's kind of hard to watch. Like, I can barely even watch basketball anymore, and I miss it, man. I miss my sport, man. Watching what's going on in the WNBA is kind of entertaining because people are out to kill this girl Caitlin Clark. She's killing everybody, and shit, that's competitive basketball. Like, we need some of that in the NBA. NBA is definitely soft. These guys are just worried about their money, and I don't blame them. They should be. They should be worried about their contracts and, you know, that kind of stuff, because they got families to feed, and these organizations will write your ass off very quick and they'll trade your ass or cut you or whatever the case may be. So for sure, I definitely do get that. But as a fan, as somebody just sitting at home, it's just, man, you just question like, shit, at 41 years old that I think I can fucking play in the NBA. I'm bullshit. I can't play in the NBA. With that said, you know, about LeBron James and everything that's going on in the NBA, and you know, another big headline for LeBron James is his son, man, Bronny James, and I want to first start by saying what an incredible accomplishment it is to have game minutes with your son, you know, for your son to be drafted in the NBA after your 21 seasons is absolutely incredible. I mean, on pure opportunity, when you have that opportunity, you take it. You know, do you work a little harder in the offseason so you can maintain your body to be able to play with your son? Yes. You know, do you use your relationships to get your son drafted? Yes. So for all y'all who wanted my opinion on the Bronny James being drafted, it's fucked up. Absolutely, it's fucked up. 100%. But let me tell y'all something. Everybody who's been somewhere in life, anybody who has any kind of opportunities and paths and doorways and success, it's always been because of a relationship built or an opportunity that somebody gave you. So opportunities are based on relationships 1,000%. They will never, ever, ever go away. And what you guys saw with LeBron James and Bronny James was absolutely his dad is LeBron James. So everybody should shut the fuck up and allow this kid to fucking play. However, on the flip side of that, that kid belongs in goddamn LA Fitness. I hate to say it. Man, I hate to fucking say it, but that kid doesn't belong in the league. Man, he's okay. Let me redo this, right? As Bronny James, as LeBron James, you took 100% of that opportunity to play with your kid. I seen a viral clip where GMs and people are starting to question, was it to the benefit of Bronny James or was it to the benefit of LeBron James? So is this all about LeBron's legacy? Is this all about LeBron and less about Bronny? That's kind of tough, man. It makes a lot of sense. So I see why people say that. You know, I see why people have that opinion. Because that kid is just not ready for the NBA. There's also a viral clip of Jaylen Brown. He's on the sideline with his girlfriend, and he says LeBron James is not an NBA-ready talent. Like, he's just not an NBA guy. And it's weird. The internet blasted him, you know, for saying it. But as a hooper, you just know. Now, let me tell y'all something. I was having this conversation with my boy Drew the other day, and you know, when people talk to us about the Wavy League, I run a league out here in Orlando, Florida, with my guys, and it's called the Wavy League. It's a competitive league, but our media is on point, and we play hard, and we got some guys that have been playing together for like 10 years. So whether you're good or not, we'll run some motherfuckers out the gym. However, a lot of people, when they see our content, they see our league, they always want to join. I want to play, I want to play, I want to join. And some of these people we've never seen play before, but you know, we don't allow just everybody in there. It's an invite-only system. But Drew and I were having a conversation, and he's like, yo, like, somebody was saying they wanted to play, and I'm like, and Drew said, let me just see him dribble the ball. Like, literally, as a hooper, it doesn't take much. If I just see him dribble the ball, maybe put up one shot at the basket, I can have a clear indication of the level of basketball that guy is, because that's my sport. I've been around it for so long. I've been playing this sport for 40 years, damn near. And, you know, if you look at it from the Jaylen Brown side, you know, when he sees Bronny James, he's like, that's not an NBA body. Like, you just know those things. And the simple-minded fucking media will never know. Simple-minded media will never know that. So I knew exactly what he was talking about when he made that comment and that clip went viral. I said, oof, I know what the fuck he's talking about, because it happens to us all the time. We see people come in, I'm like, okay, you're not a hooper. And Bronny James is definitely, you know, a skilled kid. You know, he definitely has some skill, but he didn't dominate in high school, which about 80-90% of the NBA players that play in the NBA have dominated at some point or some level of their career. And he didn't dominate in high school. He was probably like the third best player over there in Sierra Canyon. Went to college. Obviously, he had the cardiac arrest, so that's nothing to play with. Don't want to pop any jokes at that. However, when he was cleared to play, he still wasn't any good. He was still probably second, third best player on his team, averaging about 6 points a game. Is that kind of career or level warrant you to get drafted 55th pick in the draft? Absolutely not. That's LeBron James. But where I question, and I need y'all help in the comment section, please enter that comment section down below, is when you're a kid of an NBA player, granted, this is the best fucking NBA player in the last 15 years. Where are the runs, man? Like, if you grow up around basketball, right? We watched Steph Curry play with his dad, Del Curry. And as his dad played pickup ball in the summer, Steph Curry was playing. Somebody like Cooper Flags, you see that kid playing. He's playing NBA talent his whole high school. You know, he just started college. Like, he's playing NBA talent. Where's Bronny James's NBA talent as he's playing? I didn't see him in any Rico Hines runs. I didn't see him playing out with Chris Brickley. You know, I question LeBron James and what the fuck were you doing with your son? Put him on the court with these players. You got Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic's been playing. Look at what Luka's doing in the NBA right now. That kid's been playing with pros since he was 12, 13 years old in Slovenia. Like, Bronny, where was you in all these runs, man? Are you playing this against a bunch of high school talent? Is that why you didn't develop? Can he dunk? Yes. Can he play defense? Yes. Is he a shooter? No. Does he have really much of a bag? Is his offensive? No. But like, just the being on the court, like what Jaylen Brown was talking about, having an NBA body, like, is that an NBA player? You develop that by playing with the bigger people, the better people, you know? Like, did LeBron James just have him doing cone drills? Like, when you get to the NBA and college level, like, fuck those cone drills, man. Like, a cone? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, fuck these cone drills, fuck these coaches, fuck this. Get him some NBA experience. Get him bumping and banging with some fucking NBA bodies. So that's why I question LeBron James, man. Like, you put this kid probably through the nerdiest fucking come up of basketball, and you expect him to be this freak fucking athlete. Not everybody's gifted, the chosen one like you are. You got to put that kid through the trenches, man. And I don't think you did. I don't think they put Bronny James through the trenches. You know, I watched the preseason game, first couple plays of the preseason game. He ain't nowhere to be on the court, and that's a value. He didn't even know how to get the ball to a teammate without like hesitating, assuming the ball was going to get stolen. All of that you get when you're playing with better and bigger competition your whole life. So I think that's what's stunting the growth of Bronny James right there. But get him the fuck out of the NBA. 4 years guaranteed contract. Like, he's going to get paid, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Bron James family. Shout out to the James gang. Absolutely incredible feat. Again, I don't want to take away from that, but you got to call a spade a spade. That kid is not ready for NBA basketball, and the NBA is kind of soft right now. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying? So you really belong in LA Fitness, Bronny, or in the Wavy League. Come down to the Wavy League, man. I got a couple people you can play with. In other NBA news, the New York Knicks have traded for Karl-Anthony Towns. They traded Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle for Karl-Anthony Towns, and I got mixed feelings. I got mixed emotions on this one, and I definitely need my Knicks fans to help me out with this one. But from what I watched last season, I watched the New York Knicks team that played very gritty, very aggressive, which what I mentioned in the last segment. They played heartfelt basketball, especially in the playoffs. They played with a small ball lineup. You've seen Julius Randle go down. You've seen Jalen Brunson become, shout out to Jalen Brunson, one of my favorite players to watch. You got guys like Dante DiVincenzo go absolutely fucking nuts. Emerged his career, like, shout out to him. You watch OG Anunoby fit right in with the Knicks. Went down with a hamstring injury in the playoffs. If not, they would have still been rolling. But he was a big piece, man, big piece. You got guys like Josh Hart, man. What didn't Josh Hart do last year for the New York Knicks? So you got like all these underlying guys that became these relevant players because people are watching them on national TV. And that's like Hart. Like Hart played, not Josh Hart, no pun intended, but Hart played a lot in what y'all watched and y'all enjoyed it. And for that to be a preview of what this season could be, to see a full season of that product on court, I feel like we were stripped a little bit. I feel like, you know, adding Karl-Anthony Towns and getting rid of Dante DiVincenzo was kind of like a, damn, man, like they just has something. Like, why wouldn't that continue? I wanted to see what that could have done because I think that could have shook up the NBA for sure. Is Cat ready for the New York City Lights? He's not a dog, man. Shit, he damn near gay. You know, he has those suspect moments where he changes his voice and he's very sassy. Like, the New York City media is gonna fucking chop him up, man. Like, New York City is, it's where I'm from, so New York City is, man, they'll boo the shit out of you, man, right after cheering for you. So, will he be able to handle that? Now, in Minnesota, you know, we watched them go on a deep playoff run, and we watched the emergence of Naz Reid. And Naz Reid took a lot of his minutes. Shit, I even think there was some points where they benched Karl-Anthony Towns last year in the playoffs in the fourth quarter and let Naz Reid be the guy to play alongside Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards. So kind of looking at that, this is where the mixed emotions, the mixed bag comes in on both sides because it kind of works for both parties. You got Karl-Anthony Towns, who's high, well paid, and he's a superstar looking for superstar minutes, and he's getting benched, and they're having more luck and more success with Naz Reid. You have an opportunity right there. If the Knicks are interested, if you're the Timberwolves, you got the Knicks interested in shipping them away and getting some pieces. And the fact that Dante DiVincenzo was available, like, man, if you're the Timberwolves, you take it. You know, you take it. You know, obviously we know that's Anthony Edwards' team now on. From now moving forward, this is Anthony Edwards' team. So with that said, you got a perfect opportunity to get Julius Randle back. Now, we don't know what to expect from Julius Randle. He can play lights out or he can become a big baby and start crying. But if you get any production out of him, if you get 50% of the Julius Randle, you win because the core of your Minnesota team is still there. You got an added offensive weapon in Dante DiVincenzo alongside Anthony Edwards. And you also have guys like Mike Conley running the point. It's kind of a good mix, man. Like, and Dante DiVincenzo was looking for minutes. I said it in my group chat. I said it in the Wavy League chat. You know, these guys were like, oh, you know, why Dante? And I'm like, man, they just got Mikal Bridges. The Knicks just got Mikal Bridges. So you think the Nova Knicks are back, and we talked about that Nova Knicks stuff, which I'll save that for those guys when they come on the show. But you got Dante DiVincenzo. He's not going to take a back seat. He just came off a great performance. This is where the business, this is where the NBA comes in and their money gets involved and everybody's families. Like, bro, this kid Dante DiVincenzo averaged, what, like 19 points last season in the playoffs? This is your opportunity, man, to not go back to being a bench player. This is your opportunity to rise, and then for them to get Mikal Bridges, which means it's going to be less minutes for him. You know, I guess he's looking at it like, man, my value's high right now. You know, as much as I want to stay a Knick, I need to go somewhere where I can get some minutes. And Minnesota's the destination, man. He can play alongside Anthony Edwards and be that. So that's why it's a win-win for both parties. And I looked at it like, damn, I was kind of torn to say who won the trade or who lost the trade is kind of like, can kind of go both ways, man. Because if Dante DiVincenzo wants out because of his minutes, and you have an opportunity to get somebody like Cat, even if Cat gives you 50%, if you're the Knicks, you kind of take it, man. You played without Julius Randle at that position, so still the Knicks, man. You still got OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson. You still got these guys at the helm, so I would say it's no win for either franchise. I think it goes both ways. Pause. Matter of fact, I got a pause button.
Hey yo!
But it's a good win. It's a good win for both sides, man. It's a good win for both sides. They both had the opportunities. It was just kind of, for me on the Knicks side, it was kind of like, shit, I kind of wanted to see what that Knicks team would have done this year, man. The Nova Knicks, man. But I'm not going to talk about the Nova Knicks, man, because I'm going to wait for my guys to come on the show, Bash, Hibachi, they Knicks fans. Everybody stay tuned. This is my Hurricane Milton episode. And with that said, it's the Young OG. To the next episode, we out of here. Peace.